Now you talk about it's his time. I'm assuming because the next person I'm gonna bring up, I definitely wanted to get your quick opinion on this guy, Kwame Brown. He's taking over YouTube. He's taking over the waves. You and I
Right.
haven't spoken a lot since Kwame hit back on the scene. What do you think about
Mhm.
Kwame Brown's impact?
That's another guy where it's his turn as well. I know damn well. I remember when he became a Laker, and
Out for the
Kwame Brown
finals.
made a good point on one of his videos I saw about a month ago. He made a very good point, and I did not ever notice this until he brought it up. He was saying, if you look at his stats, and this is something that we can actually bring up. He said, if you look at his stats, the times where when he got real playing time, those were the his best years. He said when he first became a rookie, his first 2 years with the Wizards, they put him in garbage time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's all about getting a fair shake, but then your skill set is your skill set.
But with Kwame Brown, man, like the thing that I love the most about Kwame, kind of, it doesn't disappoints me, but it leaves a little void as a fan because I appreciate that he hit the scene dropping jewels and knowledge. Like he
Mhm.
not, you know, but a part of me, not a lot. I don't never want that to go away. But I be wanting to hear Kwame talk basketball sometimes. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
I want more of them stories. You know what I mean? I know Kwame Brown probably could, you know what I mean? I would want more of that type of content, not to take away what he's doing for the community right now. You know, that is definitely more important, most important. But just as a fan, knowing what he went through, not all just drama, but I know Kwame Brown probably got some shit to
So
talk about. And
I
even the current things that's going on in sports with the super teams and all that, like I would like to see Kwame talk about, shit like that that's going down in the NBA currently.
no, that's real. It would be great, honestly. I know he recently shared a story about Kobe. He was talking about Kobe, how Kobe used to always kind of like stand up for him.
Right.
He was saying how Kobe was, one of his only like teammates he had that used to really stand up for him, like even in the press. He said Kobe joked about him one time, but other than that, he said Kobe would always, say positive things about him, where everybody else would, bash him. Your boy, your favorite analyst, Stephen A. Smith was the ringleader.
Last name. That's the last name I got on my list. That's the last thing I wanted to speak with you. It's crazy you mentioned his name. Stephen A. Smith. He pretty much ran Max Kellerman off of First Take. He now got Michael Irvin and Tim Tebow as co-hosts on the show. Kwame Brown came out guns a blazing at Stephen A. Smith once he hit the scene back on, YouTube and all that. What's your thoughts now in 2021? A good old Stephen A. Smith, man. Overall, he's running ESPN. We got to give him that.
Yeah, man. My thoughts as of now is it's not directly about him. My thoughts are, you know, when is the train wreck going to happen? Because I'm starting to like I'm looking at the moves that's being made, and I feel like it's not going to be a long. It won't be too long before we no longer see him there as well.
When his demise come, it's going to be nasty. And I don't want to sound like a hater, but it's going to be nasty when his demise come. I don't know if it's going to be on some old, I don't want to put nothing in the air like that. I don't want to do that. But I feel like he's such a puppet. When they decide to make an example out of him, it's going to be crazy. I don't think
Yeah,
they respect him enough to let him just, you know, walk away gracefully.
Yeah, unscathed.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this, Steph. I know this is your show, but let me ask you this question: Have we seen, have we ever seen a total 180 of a personality like we've seen with Stephen A. Smith as far as the fan base? Because there was once where Stephen A. was the hero, right? He was the man.
Absolutely. He was that guy.
I mean, you and I used to talk about, man, I wish they would make him a regular on First Take. I wish they would do this more with Stephen A. I used to listen to his radio show every day when he was in New York City. I used to listen to his radio show and out here in California every day. I
Stephen
couldn't
A.
wait.
Stephen A. and Skip Bayless inspired you and I. Let's be honest. To do the two man,
Absolutely.
like the way they were giving it up, that inspired us to come up with ways where we could do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now a lot of people are really have a disdain for him now. Let
Because the
me
game
ask
has
you.
changed. The game has changed. It's not a back in the day, you could count on Stephen A. Smith being in the locker rooms, getting inside information, talking
Hmm.
numbers, giving you real information, doing what is supposed to be done. Now what's being asked of him is completely different. He can't get an interview. I've been said years ago he had never get an interview from LeBron James again. Like he
Hmm.
has alienated himself in a certain space, but he doesn't care because that's not really what's asked of him anymore. ESPN has put him in a whole nother space. So ESPN is the real culprit, but Stephen A. Smith, he's definitely lost the fan base that people, that feel like, you know, gravitated to him because he's doing a completely different thing now. And we getting something different. And it don't taste good.
When do you think that 180 started?
The 180 started most definitely when Skip Bayless left.
Mm,
That's it. Like this is all about a position of power. Stephen A. know that he was the reason First Take was lit like that. Skip Bayless can't control a show for 2 hours, 2.5 hours by himself with high ratings. He needed Shannon Sharp with that entertainment presence that Shannon got. Like Stephen A. brought that spice to First Take. Everybody knows that. So now once the door was open for him to be the senior there, you know, Max Kellerman only been there 4 years, 5 years, and already out the door. Max Kellerman coming from boxing, to being on ESPN First Take. Why would Max want to go anywhere? So Stephen A. got a lot of power, man.
that's crazy. It's really crazy when you really break it down, man. Stephen A. has gone from hero to zero in a lot of people's eyes, man, especially black people. And it's 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 sad, but it's like what you said, bro. It's the sign of the times. This is what it is. He's being asked to do different things. Do we give him grace for that?
I don't give him bricks for that because every man got a decision to make. You know, every
True.
guy got a decision to make, and maybe of course the results will be different depending on what your decision is. So, it is what it is on that notion. But the only thing I will say, Stephen A carrying it like this opened up doors for a lot of people like myself and, other people on the internet to build sports platforms to talk about the X's and the O's and other things. So, everybody's starting to get their own little lane because it's open and available now.
That's true. So I guess we probably should give him some credit, a lot of credit. Uh, I'm just very curious to see how this is going to go with Michael Irvin and Tim Tebow. I'm not trying to listen. I'm not really trying to hear no Tim Tebow. Man. I'm trying to be real with you. Like, yeah, he might be able to give some perspective with football and things like that, but other than that, I'm not trying to hear